This is where everybody gets confused at. Alright, so this would be the oath of a county commissioner and the judge. Now, let's just kind of go by piece by piece. Alrighty. So it says defend the Constitution and law of the United States and the state. Okay? Now, in all actuality, it's supposed to be the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of Texas. Okay? But what they did is took the Constitution state out and added law of the United States. Now see, the original oath of office did not have this. It was the Constitution of America and the Constitution of the state of Texas or Oregon or whatever. There was no ever so help me God. That was added in the 50s. But they changed from the Constitution state to the law. And then they didn't specifically word state of Texas in it. Okay? And this is where it gets hairy at. Because they can ignore, because it says, and law of the United States. And we all know that sometimes the laws contradict the Constitution. But since they took the oath to protect the law of the United States, it says, well, even though it's unconstitutional, I took the oath to protect the law of the United States. There's the curveball. And that was 1997. Bill Clinton's changed the oath on this. Okay? Now, this is the sheriff where I was at, and this is kind of hard to read because I actually red inked it, and I can read it on my paper. But I'm going to do it slowly so you guys can see it. Okay. So, again, and I'm going to highlight this, even though you may not be able to see it. It's Constitution and laws of the state, or laws of the United States and of the state. Alright? Again, it's supposed to be specific about what state. Number two, it's the and word. It throws everybody off. And laws of the United States and the state. There is no upholding the Constitution state. So they don't even have to uphold the Constitution of the states. They just have to uphold the law. Okay? You don't see anywhere in there about the Constitution of the state. So they do not actually have to uphold the Constitution of the state. Alright. So this is one in Odessa. Of that sheriff that went out and arrested all them people at the bar. Letting the dog go out. So the easy way of putting this, y'all, is the way that it was written, is they do not have to go by the Constitution. Because it said and the state. So even though the law is contradictory to the Constitution, that and part right there totally wipes that out. Now, is it number one? Yes. Should they go by the Constitution? Yes. But do they have to? Legally, by the oath, no. Because, number one, the Constitution did not say number one. It was written on there, and we all go by common sense, saying that's the first one they need to go by. But since it wasn't specific, then they don't have to. That's the trick. And that happened in 1997 with Bill Clinton, when they changed the oath. Because the old oath, before 1997, it had the United States and the state of Texas, or the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of Texas, or whatever state you're in. Okay? So, Bill Clinton really wanted, kind of helped, screwed the oath up, and really helped give more powers to our officers and our judges, and how they can legally, illegally take our rights away. See how I word that? So they can legally, illegally take our constitutional rights away from us. It's all in the words. And I'm not a scholar. See, back when this was actually first done, and if I remember correctly, it was Article 6. Read Article 6. Somewhere in there was the original oath. And I haven't looked it up in a while. Okay? But it has the original oath in it. And it did not say, so help me God. Okay? Maybe it should, maybe it shouldn't at that time. I don't know. That wasn't added until like in the 50s. So it's been a couple of times that the oath of office has been changed. And it should have never been changed. In fact, these oaths of office is no good. Do you know why? Because it goes against the article of the Constitution. Any laws that's passed contradictory against the Constitution is non and void. So the oath of office is non and void, since it's been changed from the original Article 6. Okay? And then they also did a couple of other things. They flipped something, and I shouldn't have brought it up because I cannot remember. But they got permission to do something, but what they did is flipped it and actually did not get the okay, the authorization. But because they changed it and added something to it from another article and flipped it backwards, then they go by it, even though it's illegal. And for the life of me, I can't remember, and I should have brought it up. But I did, and it got flipped, and it got changed. And I don't think it was, and it may have been due to the oath. I'm going to have to relook at that again. But let me clean this up a little bit. So, by Article 6, the oath of office, no good. It's not in the Constitution anywhere how this is written. It was specifically written in Article 6 how it should be done. And since they changed it, it's not in void. So even though everybody says oath of office and all that, it's really illegal by the Constitution. However, it's still contract. So it's still binding, but now they got the leadway. It says Constitution of the United States and the law of the United States and the state of, basically. All right. So what they did is left an opening where they don't have to go by the Constitution, that it says in the oath they can go by the law, even though the law is contradictory to the Constitution, but it's still a law. And that's how we, the people, is kind of getting screwed over on this. The key word is in the wordings of what they've written and how they've written it. And the way they've written it is that since it's not a constitution, even though it's unconstitutional, it's still a law. So they can still use it against you. So let's say it's legal for them to come and shoot me at my house for no reason, because they created a law saying that any given time they can come and do it. They can do it because it's a law. Argument's sake, if they tell you to wear, it's illegal to wear a red shirt on Monday, well, they go by the law, even though it's unconstitutional to tell me what shirt I can and cannot wear. They can go by the law and say, hey, it's red. It's time for you to go to jail, buddy. And that's not how the Constitution, Article 6, or any of that is written originally. So this is one of the problems we're having, is the oath. Okay? So what we got to do is get to an Article 6, rewrite it, get a copy of the Article 6, go to the courtroom and say, no, I want you back into the original Article 6 Constitution. That way I be entering into the Constitution courts and not the amnesty courts. If they don't, then, like a video ago or two ago, I said, then we at least is shown that they are, in fact, ignoring the Constitution, period. Just a little something I was looking at and reading up on because I knew there's something wrong. Do your own homework, or I may make another video about it later and research it again. And I forgot about this. It's been about a year since I looked this up. The oath of office is, well, I got in trouble with the cops before, so I just kind of threw it on there. And they still did whatever they want to do. Well, then I turned around and really read it and looked at it, and they was legally allowed to do whatever they want to do since, unquote, unquote, I supposedly broke on a law, which I didn't. So take it what you will, but we need to get our oath of office from Article 6 back into our government officials, and have them go back by the original intent of the Constitution and the Constitution of the state. No more of this law thing. Because, again, y'all, we know there's a lot of laws out there that's unconstitutional. And because it's legal law, and even though it's unconstitutional, they think it's legal, even though the paperwork and all that, and articles and this, that, here, and there, that the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. Remember, it's the supreme law of the land for them. We're still free. We just got to learn how to use it and get our freedom back. So when they take that oath, they're agreeing to the terms. They're not allowed to proceed forward against our Constitution. But because they added the law in there, now they are allowed to step over the Constitution, go into legalese, and do law instead of lawful. All right? Lawful and law is two different things. Okay? So my 2 cents. Time for me to put the pup back in and go back to bed. It's 4:30 in the morning. I got to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I know it's late when I get up, but that's the way it is right now anyway. Decent for we the people. Still studying, still learning, and still dissecting. You guys may have had some better ideas if you guys look into it. More power to we the people. Till next time, bye.